Barron's ASVAB 11th edition Diagnostic Test Arithmetic Reasoning question number 20. During a season, a professional basketball player tried 320 shots and made 272 of them. What percent of the shots tried were successful? Well, that's going to be 272 divided by 320. So I'm going to go with my method first, the long division. This one's actually, there's two methods. There's one in the book, and then there's this one. 320 goes into 272. How many times? 0. 320, if you look at it, you can think about how many times does 3 go into 27? Well, 3 times 9 is 27, correct? Correct. But we have something over 9. We actually have 320. Goes into 2,720. So I'm going to guess 8 just to be safe, because I don't want to go over. So I go 8 times 0, 0. 8 times 2 is 16. Carry the 1. Carry the 1. 8 times 3 is 24. Bring the 1 back in, so we have 25. Minus 6 is 6, and 6 minus 5 is 1. Bring down to 0. Now 320 goes into 1,600 how many times? I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to cover up the, let's look at it like 3 goes into, 16. How many times? And we go with 5. So we're at 320 goes into 1,600 how many times? Let's try 5. Just see what happens. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. We'll just put another 1 right there. 5 times 3 is 15. Add the 1, you have 16. So, what was the percentage of the shots made? We move the decimal point over twice. We have 85%. Okay? Now, the book has another way they want you to reduce the fraction, which is also a very good way. When you look at the fraction, you see that they're both even numbers. So obviously you can divide them both by 2. So let's start with this one, because this one's less friendly. So we're going to go with 2 goes into 272. How many times? Well, 2 goes into 2 once. Correct? Nothing's left over. 2 goes into 7 3 times. And that'd be 6. 7 minus 6 would give you 1. So you have the 1 and the 2, so you have 12. So 2 goes into 12 6 times. Alright, so now let's go. 2 goes into 136. How many times? 2 doesn't go into 1, but 2 goes into 13 6 times. 13 minus 12 will give you 1. So you have 16. 2 goes into 16 8 times. Alright, so let's go with 2 goes into 68. How many times? 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes into 8 4 times. Alright, so let's go. 2 goes into 34. How many times? Well, 2 goes into 3 1 time. You have the 3 minus 2 will give you 1, so 14. 2 goes into 14 7 times. That's it. That's as far as you can go. So let's try the other number. 2 goes into 320. 320, how many times? Well, 2 goes into 3 1 time. You have 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. So 2 goes into 12 6 times. 160. 2 goes into 160. How many times? 2 goes into 10. 2 goes into 16 8 times. So let's try that one out. 2 goes into 80. How many times? 2 goes into 40. How many times? Alright, so now what we have is 17 over 20, because 17 is a odd number. Not only is it odd, but it's also prime. So you can't reduce the number any further. This is the least fraction, or this is the most reduced fraction. least common denominator, least common numerator, you get it. So now we're going to do 20 goes into 7. 20 goes into 17. How many times? Well, 20 times 8 is 160. And 20 times 5 is 100. Again, we have 85%. That's the fast way to reduce, well, that's the easiest way to reduce fractions. And if you get really good at it, it goes fast. And then there's the long division way, which, you know, when you get good at that, you're pretty skilled at guessing and then proving it. Kind of like a guess and check.